Welcome to Reading Students Watching. From where you left off in Reading in Secret in the Maple Tree, why did Papa have to come get Hilda from school, Lexi? Morgan?
Because there was a blizzard.
Yes, because there was a blizzard. A lot of snow was coming down very quickly. We'll find out in our reading homework what other important event happens during that blizzard and if they're able to stay safe as we pick up there later for our homework reading. Right now, let's take a look at a word we'll come across in our reading today. Read it for us, Carson.
Deafened.
Yes, if something is deafened, it's something very loud that you cannot hear anything else going on around you. We're going to begin reading it on the bright side on page 68. Page 68, take a look at the dig deeper at the top. This selection is a play. A play is divided into acts, and acts are divided into scenes. Acts and scenes often change when the character or setting changes. As you read this play, ask yourself what changes from one act to another, which character appears in each act, and why the scene changed. So we're going to begin reading Hickory, Dickory, and Dock, and this story is based on the poem Hickory, Dickory, Dock found in Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes. L. Frank Baum decided to turn this and other silly rhymes into lovable and exciting stories. So our students today are going to read this to you according to the characters and narrators that we see here. We have narrator 1, Emily. Narrator 2 is Anna. Mama Mouse is going to be Una, and they're going to come and begin reading for you from Act 1. Then we have Hickory, Dickory, and Dock. Hickory is going to be Dev, Dickory is going to be Jackson, and Dock is going to be Jimmy. So let's begin our play. Let's work on using good expression as we read. Emily, and ladies, you may come, and then Emily, start us off.
Within the hollow wall of an old brick mansion, away up near the roof, there lived a family of mice. Mama Mouse liked this snug little home because of the draft that came through the rafters made it cool in summer, and they were near enough to the chimney to keep warm in wintertime. Besides the Mama Mouse, there were 3 children named Hickory and Dickory and Dock.
Mama Mouse was a brave mouse and knew that it was her duty to find food for her little ones. So she went bravely to work, gnawing through the baseboard that separated the pantry from the wall. It took her some time to do this, for she could only work at the night when the cat was fast asleep.
At last, Mama Mouse gnawed a hole through the baseboard large enough for her to get through into the pantry, and then her disappointment was great to find the bread jar covered over with a tin pan.
How thoughtless people are to put things where a hungry mouse cannot get at them.
But just then she spied a barrel of flour standing upon the floor, and that gave her new courage, for she knew she could easily gnaw that, gathering the children a few crumbs that were scattered about. She ran back into the wall and scrambled up to her nest.
And Emily continues scene 2, narrator 1.
Hickory, Dickory, and Dock were very glad to get the crumbs, for they were hungry, and when they had eaten, they all curled up alongside their mother and slept soundly throughout the day.
Be good, children, and don't stir out of your nest till I come back. I hope that after tonight we shall not be hungry for a long time. I shall gnaw a hole at the back of the flour barrel, where it will not be discovered.
She kissed each one of them goodbye and ran down the wall on her errand. When they were left alone, Hickory wanted to go to sleep again, but Dock was wide awake and tumbled around so in the nest that his brothers were unable to sleep.
I wish I could go with Mother some night. It's not fun to stay here all the time.
She will take us when we are big enough.
We are big enough now, and if I knew my way, I would go out into the world and see what it looks like.
I know a way out, but Mama wouldn't like it if we should go out without her permission.
She needn't to know anything about it, for she will be busy at the flour barrel and all the night. Take us out for a little walk, Hickory, if you know the way.
He is late. Let's go, Hickory. Well, I like a little stroll myself, so if you will promise to be very careful and not get into any mischief, I'll take you through the hole that I have discovered.
Our readers stay. Let's pause for a moment. What do you think changed between the first two scenes, students watching? And Morgan?
So they stayed in the house and now they're trying to escape?
Yes, now they've made a decision of what they're going to do. Narrator 1, pick up for us, Emily.
So the three disobedient little mice started off, with Hickory showing the way. Soon they came to a crack in the wall. Hickory stuck his head through and found everything quiet, for the family of people that lived in the house were fast asleep. He squeezed through the crack, followed by his two brothers.
Their little hearts beat very fast, for they knew if they were discovered, they would have to run for their lives. But the house was so still, they gained courage and crept along over a thick carpet until they came to a stairway.
What shall we do now? Should we go back?
No, let's go down.
So, carefully, they crept down the stairs and reached the hallway of the house, and here they were much surprised by all they saw.
There was a big crack for hats and coats and umbrellas, but a stand umbrella, and two lovely carved chairs, and most wonderful of all, a tall clock that stood up upon the floor and ticked out the minutes in a serious voice.
Well, what's that? I know, but I'm afraid. It is alive. I wish Mother were here.
Then, seeing that the clock paid no attention to them, but kept ticking steadily away and seeming to mind its own business, they plucked up their courage and began running about. Only seconds later, Hickory uttered a delighted squeal that brought his brothers to his side.
There in a corner lay nearly the half of a bun which little May had dropped. When nurse carried her upstairs to bed, it was a great discovery for the three mice. They ate heartily until the last crumb had disappeared.
This is better than a cupboard or a pantry, and I should be surprised if there were plenty more good things around if we only hunt for them.
With full bellies, the mice continued to explore.
And